It is my pleasure to introduce 2011 Lambda Fellow in Fiction, C. Adán Cabrera.
Good evening, everyone. Hi. I'm going to read from a short story called The End of the World. I like dramatic titles. And it's about the complexities of ending a relationship, about what happens when you fall out of, or you try to convince yourself that you've fallen out of love with someone. And the only thing that you need to know about this is that the narrator still lives with his ex-boyfriend even though they've broken up. Not that any of us have been there before. The world was going to end on Sunday. At least that's what the preacher man said on television. The king of everything, the Alpha and Omega himself, would ride down from heaven and from a sacred white horse punish every wicked man, woman, and child exactly 7 minutes after the sun set over Jerusalem. The cherub-cheeked old man paced in front of a bronze-colored podium, pausing only long enough to dab at his glistening forehead with a limp pink handkerchief. That gave us, I figured, 3 days to repent and thus avoid the divine wrath that Pastor Morales declared to be imminent. 3 days was also long enough to take that drive up north for our river rafting trip, our second time. We'd had fun last year, 2 days of breath-stealing skinny dips in the American River, kisses swapped under a star-scattered sky, tickle of toes in the moonlight. Then we put down a deposit and signed another contract while our swimming trunks still dripped with river water. Plus, it was another chance to escape Los Angeles in the summer. July in LA was hotter than Satan's backside, hot enough to make the big JC unhinge a hand and found himself. Come Monday, I'd either be broiling with the rest of the sinners or find myself back at work, pushing in another cart of books down the library's air-conditioned aisles. The only thing I'd done thus far on my week-long vacation was guess at paternity results along with Maury Povich's studio audience and smoke clothes on the balcony, blowing sweet smoke into a cloudless summer sky. Our trip was the one thing I was looking forward to all year. I told Tomas we should start packing. He was dozing on the recliner, digesting a slice of leftover pizza and a handful of tortilla chips. The afternoon heat had melted off his clothes, leaving him in a pair of white briefs and a tight black tank top. A half-finished bottle of beer was pinned between his hairy thighs. "Oh, I'm glad that's this weekend," Tomas said, tilting back farther in his seat. The recliner squeaked in protest. "I could use some of that cool Arctic water before I start work on Monday." Tomas closed his eyes, stretched his arms above his head, and let them fall again with a sigh. "Wow," I said, turning off the television. "With lines as original as that one, you'll finish your novel in no time, especially if it's Arctic, not Arctic water." I reached down to grab my Jack and lemonade. It was a little tart, but I drank it anyway. "You make fun of me now," he said, eyes still closed, "but we'll see who's laughing when I win the Pulitzer." "I'll drink to that," I said. I held up my glass and smirked. Tomas opened one green eye. He smiled and reached for his beer, but tipped it over instead. Neck first. It fizzled down the recliner's leg rest and onto the carpet. "God damn it," he muttered. He peeled off his tank top and, folding it into thirds, tossed it onto the lake of beer. His tanned, hairy abdomen was glistening with sweat. "So when do we leave?" Tomas said, stomping on the spill with one foot. I took a long sip of my lemonade. "Tonight," I said, "and we'll stay till the apocalypse." "Cool," he said. Tomas bent forward to pick up his tank top, and I'll start packing. And sorry, man, about the carpet. If they try to charge you for it when I leave, let me know. "It's cool," I said. "I'm over it." I finished my lemonade in 2 sour gulps. I switched the television back on. Pastor Morales was still pontificating, becoming ever more exasperated while he spoke, furiously patting his hairline as if the sky had opened up and could already feel the fire and brimstone raining down from heaven itself. Thank you.